Okay, guys, so I'm Cub, that's Kit. We are here to teach you some tips, tricks, and fancy bits about art. And the tutorial for today is going to be just ideas for background. And not only that, ideas for simple backgrounds.
Yeah, we're not about complications here. We're not Avril Lavigne. We're not trying to make it complicated.
So we got some really simple ideas for you, and we're gonna break them down. So
Because we love you.
because we love you and we care, and art's hard. Art's hard.
Hard.
So let's just make it easy on us. And sometimes as you've seen on screen right now, sometimes you have just a simple sketch. It looks pretty decent on its own, but you know that you want something behind it. You want it to pop a little bit more. This one's not going to be about color theory or anything. Maybe we'll do a future tutorial on that.
We'll definitely do that later.
Well, okay, you heard it here first, folks. We're definitely going to do that later. The first background that I default to, honestly, like if I have a sketch or something, or if I just kind of want to, slap some color on something, I do texture. And I do this in two ways. So right here you see lovely Katra, our model on the screen. And for texture, right now I just have a simple watercolor brush that I've downloaded. You can do this in Photoshop or Procreate or Sai like I have up now. But basically, we're just gonna add some color in the background first. Doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be easy breezy cover girl or whatever the heck. So as you can see, this looks okay right now. You have a decently contrasting color that makes the character kind of pop with what you have, but there are options that you can choose to complicate this more or to make it just look like you've worked on it more than the 5 seconds that it took to scribble a background. And one of the ways I do that is by bringing in another texture and overlaying it or clipping it to that texture. So first, I'm gonna use a watercolor texture, and you can make these yourself. If you have watercolors at home, you can just watercolor on a piece of paper and take a good photo or scan of it, and then you can just use that. You can use it in multiple drawings. I've been using this one for years now, and I use it in the backgrounds of my drawings all the time. So I just copy paste it in. I roughly resize it so it covers that background blob we made. Adjust the size a little bit. And from here, you have a couple options. I like to clip it by using a clipping group over. This works when you have it directly over the blob you made in the background. And from here, you can kind of play around with it. So Sai has a couple of different modes. I like to cycle through them, because sometimes you'll stumble across something which is, pretty cool. Of course, you can adjust opacity to make sure that you're getting the right color you want. And that is probably the most simple of backgrounds that we'll be doing today. So number 2, we're also gonna go with a super easy one from here on out, and it is the shadow method. And I have a couple different ways of doing this. All of them are pretty easy. Basically what you're gonna wanna do is, I have my character on one flat layer right now. So flatten down your different layers. You're gonna wanna create a layer over the copy of your character, add a clipping group to it, and you're gonna choose a color. I'm just gonna go with the same kind of teal turquoise that I did before. And I'm just gonna color over it really quick. So basically what you're getting is just a flat cutout of the character you drew. So here's where you can kind of have some fun. If you want that really striking background look, you can do something like this. You can pull it really far away. You can stretch it so that it ends up just being more of an accent. Since we did textures first, you guys know that you can add a texture to this if you think it would be cool, and then that would give it a little bit more depth. One thing I like to do with some shadows, I like to blur them. And it doesn't have to be the whole thing, but it does kind of give a nice smear effect. Still kind of follows your character. still gives it a pop of color. That, and then you can decide, oh well, kind of like that. Want to add another shadow in the background? You can. So those are some really simple things that you can do with shadows that make your character pop a little bit more. They're not full backgrounds, but you can also remember that you can combine any of these options that we're suggesting today to make your own unique background. Okay guys, for this next one, we're basically going to start with the same kind of, you know, just kind of scribbly background, or alternatively, you could do a shape like a square or something. So do a nice actual block like this. For our purposes today, I'll just do that. Start with this, and essentially what we're doing is we're just making a small background scene. Now, listen, backgrounds are hard. We all know that. That's why you guys are here. Backgrounds are hard. But simple backgrounds, if you break them down, are a lot easier than you might think. So I have a clipping group on top of this rectangle, and I'm going to try and go for, let's do something simple. Let's do mountains. I don't know why Catra would be in front of mountains, but let's not question it right now. Basically, it doesn't matter what I really draw here. What matters is that it's kind of contained in this one part behind Catra. And essentially what this is going to allow you to do is still have the focus on the character, but have pops of color and design and whatever else you want in the background. But it's also not going to break the bank on your time or energy because it is just a small portion of your background. You're not going to have to create a massive painted background if you don't want to. You can make this as small or as large as you want. Okay guys, so here's the finished product. As you can see, really quick, really easy. You can put as much time into this as you want, but the benefit is that it is a small cutout of the back scene and not the entire thing. You can stylize it as much as you want to without making your front character look weird. Okay guys, so one of the last backgrounds I want to show you, we have one more after this and it can be combined with this, but for now, I want to just talk about how lines in the background of your character can add a lot of detail and a lot of drawing the eye through the piece, even if the character is essentially over flat backgrounds. The easiest way to do this, I'm gonna be real with you guys, it's flowers. You've seen other artists use this before. This is a tried and true technique from, you know, ancient art onward. Flowers
Truly.
are beautiful. Flowers are detailed, and flowers are hard to draw. They are hard to draw. But the good news is, if you guys want to be lazy like me, you can draw a decent amount of flowers and get somewhat good at it, but you can also just drag those flowers into some of your other drawings in the future. There's nobody to copy yourself better than yourself. So I will not be cheating for this tutorial here. I will be good, and I am going to give Catra some peonies in the background. So I'm gonna speed this up.
Oh boy.
Okay guys, so here you see the finished flower background. As you probably noticed, I literally only drew 2 flowers and then flipped them around all over the place, resized them. It was pretty easy. My lines are pretty sketchy. This is one of those things where you can spend as much or as little time as you need to on this. All told, this probably took me about 15 minutes, right? Yeah. That was probably roughly what it took me. And as you can see, this is an okay background right now. You can, using clipping layers, you can, recolor this as much as you want. For example, if I wanted some of them to be more pink, I could make a clipping layer and take a brush and just go to town and just kind of, recolor bits of it like that. Adds nice pops of color, draws your eye again. But one thing I want to add to this background idea, and once again, this is one thing that you can combine with pretty much everything, is, are you ready, my dudes?
Ready.
A simple circle.
Oh yeah.
That's right. We're talking the
Circles.
king of simple backgrounds. We're talking what you've seen on Instagram, what you've seen on YouTube, what you've seen on DeviantArt. We are doing, and Tumblr, obviously, duh. We are doing the circle behind the head, preferably in gold leaf. So,
Ooh, someone really needs to change the color of their flowers then. Someone needs to,
So this one, guys, it's super easy. It'll be even easier if you're not in Paint Tool SAI, which for some reason does not have an actual circle marquee tool. So I'm gonna do it the peasant way, which is, the poor man's way. Just take the biggest brush we got, make it a circle, take that circle, and make it bigger. And yeah, the lines are atrocious, but that doesn't matter. So actually this right here, the pink goes in with the flowers, it ties in with Katra's outfit. This could be it right here, but I want to show you guys, using clipping groups once again, how to get that kind of holy effect. One of the ways that people tend to do this is by doing a bunch of lines to make it look like it's glowing. There are easier ways to do this than what I am doing now, but for simplicity's sake, we're gonna pretend that makes sense. And these are all on the same layer, not on the same layer as the flowers, mind you. And then what you need for the gold leaf is literally a gold leaf texture. So I have one right here. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna bring it in just like I did with the other texture. It's basically just another texture that you can use. And I'm going to expand it to make sure it's covering the entire circle area. Then we're going to apply this in a clipping group. And you have a gold leaf circle halo effect behind your character. But guys, basically with that, you have a decent amount of simple backgrounds that you can do. They take varied amounts of time. We presented them from, simplest to probably most complicated. And, try them out. Test them out. I'm sure that some of you guys have tried some of these before, and we'd be interested to hear which ones are your favorites or which ones you're going to try in the future. So comment down below. If we missed a really simple background that you guys love to use, also let us know in the comments below. We're always interested to see what other people are doing.
yeah, and show us what you've made with your simple backgrounds. We want to see it.
Yeah, tag us. We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram. You can tag us in both of those or either of those. It's Kitten Cub Doodle, same as here, same handle. So yeah, show us your art that you make with these backgrounds. We'd love to see it.
You'll love to see it.
But yeah, that kind of wraps it up for our tutorial, guys. Listen, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay hydrated.
You know the jam.
Yeah, the jelly, the jam.
Eat the jam, stay hydrated, love yourself, take care of yourself, and we will see you in another Kitten Cub Doodle. We love you guys. Bye.